Good day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I'm Mike Egobadia. Here are our top stories. The stakeholders challenged NIMASA on mandate amid ongoing reforms. 1.5 million FCT voters collect PVCs ahead of council elections, says INEC. National Rotation Agency warns against food hoarding during Ramadan and Lent. And probe shows Estin and former Israel Prime Minister tied to Boko Haram profits. And talking sport, National Sport Council Chair meets President Tinubu, addresses AFCON verdict. Now to the news in full. The maritime stakeholders says Nigerian maritime sector is showing strong progress under the leadership of Mr. Dayo Mobriola at the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Since taking office in March of 2024, Mr. Dayo has tackled training backlog, strengthened regulatory enforcement, and also mobilized seafarers certification, boosting Nigerian global maritime reputation. NIMASA has cleared delays in Nigerian Safe Seafarers Development Program, which introduced a digital maritime labor e-platform and launched Operation Zero Tolerance to enforce compliance with maritime laws. The agency has also promoted international collaboration, including partnership on maritime security and emission monitoring. Nigerians secured election to Category C of the International Maritime Organization Council for 2026-2027, reflecting growing global confidence in NIMASA's reforms. The agency has also taken steps to revitalize the cabotage vessel financing fund and also accelerated local shipyard to support indigenous shipping owners. Expert has praised Mr. Dayo's reform-oriented leadership but urged greater focus on core maritime functions, reducing reliance on revenue generation, and also addressing challenges like high war risks insurance premium. Stakeholders said sustained implementation and measurable economic outcome will determine the sector's long-term successes. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, in partnership with MTN, has launched a free Wi-Fi service at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Terminal 2 in Lagos and Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. The service was inaugurated on Thursday at the MMIA by FAAN officials, with plans to expand to other terminals and international airports across Nigeria within the next 3 months. The initiative aimed to enhance passenger experience and strengthen Nigerian digital economy through effective public-private collaboration. MTN Nigerian assured passengers that the service will be reliable, secure, and efficient, while FAAN described the project as a milestone for digital infrastructure at the Nigerian airports, aligned with the government's broader transformation agenda. Away from that, the Independent National Electoral Commission says more than 1.5 million voters in the Federal Capital Territory has collected their permanent voters card ahead of Saturday's area council elections. In a statement by the National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Mohammed Haruna, the Commission disclosed that 1,587,025 out of the 1,680,315 registered voters had picked up their PVC, representing a 94.4% collection rate. INEC described the outcome as a strong sign of voter readiness, noting only those with valid PVCs will be allowed to vote. The Commission also assured residents of adequate preparation for a free and credible polls. Meanwhile, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has declared today, being Friday, a work-free day and approved movement restriction this night by 8 p.m. to Saturday evening tomorrow, following approval by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to ensure smooth conduct of the elections. The African Democratic Congress says it will mobilize Nigerians nationwide to safeguard the integrity of future elections following President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's signing of the amended Electoral Act into law. In a statement issued on Thursday by his National Public Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi, the opposition party criticized what is described as undue haste with which the bill was approved, despite reported public objections. The ADC argued that the amendment introduced ambiguity into the collation and transmission of election results, raising concerns about transparency and the credibility of the forthcoming polls. While expressing deep reservation about the changes the party pledged to defend Nigerian democracy through constitutional and lawful means, calling on citizens to remain vigilant and also united in protecting their voting rights. The National Rotation Agency has warned traders and market operators across the country against hoarding food and inflating prices during the Ramadan and Lenten season. In a statement signed by its Director of Publication and Media, Bala Musa, the agency quoted its Director General, Larissa Onilu, as commending or condemning report that some trade marketers are deliberately withholding essential commodities to create artificial scarcity. Issa Onilu described the practice as economically disruptive and morally wrong, especially at a time that calls for compassion, sacrifice, and support for less privilege. They urged Traders Association and market unions to enforce discipline among their members and ensure fair pricing. The ACNC also pledged continued sensitization campaign nationwide, stressing that Ramadan and Lent should be a period of integrity and social responsibility and not profiting. The Roundup PLC has announced it will proceed with the second tranche of its share distribution program, allocating over 600 million shares to eligible investors. In a corporate disclosure on Thursday, the company said the phased distribution was approved by shareholders at the 45th Annual General Meeting and will be executed over a 36-month period starting January 2025. The board confirmed what the second tranche following the first phase completed in August of 2025. We'll see 604 million shares distributed on a pro rata base, giving 2 new shares for every 27 existing shares. Distribution is expected to conclude on March 31st, 2026. The initiative is part of a broader plan to return previously held company shares to investors, ensuring shareholders benefit from the company's ongoing growth and performance. With that business news, we'll go on a break now, but remember, when we come back, more news across the globe, as much as sport news will also take center stage.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. Nice to know you are still there. A recent investigation by the Foreign News Agency has alleged that the late American financier, Jeffrey Epstein, collaborated with former Israel Prime Minister Ehud Barak to profit from the Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria. According to reports, U.S. Justice Department emails show Epstein facilitating talks between Nigerian investment officials and the UAE-based DP World over proposed port projects in Lagos and Badagry. DP World reportedly demanded full control of the port, and its chairman resigned after leaks to Epstein's resurfaced. The investigation also claims that Barak leveraged Nigerian security connection to promote Israeli-linked security and biometric technologies, including systems marketed to Nigerian institutions as counter-terrorism tools, while creating investment opportunities for associates. Reports said these collaborations allowed Epstein and Barak to profit from instability in Nigeria while advancing Israeli business interests. Partnership reportedly extended to cybersecurity projects supported by World Bank, highlighting the intertwine of security interventions and commercial ventures. Still on the foreign scene, the United States has paid around $160 million towards its nearly $4 billion in outstanding United Nations dues, the UN announced on Thursday. The payment covers part of the regular operating budget. $2 billion remain unpaid, including $1.8 billion for peacekeeping operations. President Donald Trump, who has previously criticized the United Nations for inefficiency and cut U.S. foreign aid, appeared to have a more supportive stance during the launch of his Board of Peace in Washington. We are going to help them money-wise, and we are going to make sure the United Nations is viable, he said. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned that the organization could face a financial collapse as early as July unless member states pay their contributions in full. The U.S., as the largest donor, accounts for about 95% of arrests to the United Nations regular budget. Critics says Trump's Board of Peace, created to oversee ceasefire efforts in Gaza, risks undermining the United Nations authority. Trump described the board as almost looking over the United Nations and making sure it runs properly, signaling a parallel outside role. Away from that, now to the sporting scene. Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, on Thursday met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja to brief him on the Commission's 2025 performance and plans for 2026. Speaking to State House correspondent after the meeting, Diko described the visit as routine, noting that the Commission reports directly to the President. He said Tinubu expressed satisfaction with the progress made and reaffirmed support for building a sustainable sport economy. Diko highlighted key achievements in 2025, including nearly 375 medals won in various competitions, increased private sector investment and job creation across the sport value chain. He ordered that sport contributed 1.2% of Nigerian GDP in the third quarter of the year, stressing that the sector is now being measured beyond medals. On football matters, this code addressed the pending African Cup of Nations verdict before FIFA, revealing the Nigerian Football Federation had submitted complaints over alleged breaches of regulations. He expressed confidence that the independent FIFA committee could handle the matter fairly. Still talking sport, Victor Pereira marked his debut as Nottingham Forest manager with a stunning 3-0 victory over Fenerbahce in the first leg of Europa League playoffs in Istanbul on Thursday. Pereira, the club's fourth boss this season, guided Forest to a commanding win thanks to goals from Mirilo, Igor Jesus, and Morgan Wright. This result gives the Premier League side a strong advantage ahead of the return leg at the City Ground on February the 26th. The players have a lot of quality. I asked them to express themselves on the pitch, and they did it. It was a very good result, Pereira said after the match. Forest, currently just 3 points above the relegation zone, are aiming to survive in the Premier League while extending their first European campaign since the 1995-1996 season. In other Europa League action, Stuttgart trashed Celtic 4-1 in Glasgow, spoiling Martin O'Neill's 1,000 march as a manager. Goals from Villa El Caronis, Jamie Lerin, and Thiago Thomas sealed a heavy defeat on the Scottish champions, leaving them with a difficult task in the second leg. SY, Red Star Belgrade beat Lee 1-0, Monongard edge Bran 1-0, Genk overcome Dynamo Zagreb 3-1, and Ludogorets Zagreb 1-1 against Ferencváros. Victoria Piran won 2-2, or rather drew 2-2 with Panathinaikos, and Celta Vigo defeated PAOK 2-1 in other First League Europa League fixtures. And with that football news from the Europa League brings us to the end of the news right here on Atlantic TV. I will always emphasize, if you have any newsworthy reports, do well to send it to our different social media platforms, and be rest assured we'll oblige you. I still remain Michael Gobadia. Bye for now.